podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling.
Hey, Daddy,
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm
No matter what nobody say, man. Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat.
Hey, Daddy,
You fight with nobody.
this a dollar beat. This a dollar beat.
BoxingWords.com.
You won the belt with
Hey,
nobody.
Daddy,
BoxingWords.com.
this a dollar beat.
You never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Payday,
BoxingWords.com.
payday. You want payday. I know that. Oh, look this guy. There's a plan to go for the belt, and I'm coming, man. I'm coming, my friend. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
BoxingWords.com.
Because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
BoxingWords.com.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you this fine morning? Because I'm doing damn good, even though very disappointed with this news that continues to get even worse. Yesterday, we broke it as it was delivered to us by Michael Coppinger. Broke it to our audience. You guys definitely received it as badly as I did, right? We took that one pretty hard. We expected this fight to be done and not be this drawn out soap opera that boxing usually is, right? Usually when the face of boxing fights, he gets his fights done fairly easy. But I think that, well, first and foremost, Canelo versus Plant. What's really happening? Who's to blame? Late minute addendum for a one-way rematch. The fact that that's out there, that it's factual, and that people are still clinging to say somehow that Plant is at fault and that Canelo isn't, it has me doing this particular show, and I will start a poll right now so we could get at it very early. Who's to blame? Who is to blame? Is it the superstar Canelo Alvarez? A-side is the term I'm seeing a lot since last night. Or is it Calaplan, I'm coming? So I don't know, man. Mario Monguilla, Corpus Christi, Texas, New Jersey zone, Alexander Lyonez, and I will be in Atlanta Friday to Sunday doing the live action for the BPE Promotions. Shout out to Justin Biggs and Big Times Promotions in associations with Latin American Promotions, putting on a fantastic fight card in the Cosmopolitan. And then we'll be back August 14th for the big fight with Lorenzo Truck Simpson, main eventing, as well as Darren the Gift Cunningham and Henry Martinez. Quactavius Cash also on our card. Amir Mason, and Amari Jones is the name. So yeah, man, a lot of fights. TBV definitely working. Gentlemen, buenos dias. What's up?
What up? What up, fellas? Y'all getting ready for Saturday?
Born ready.
Born ready, champ. But I'm ready this morning.
The best part of waking up.
It's TBV in my cup. And let's go, champ. Whose fault is it? Who's pointing the finger at who? Who's being a prima donna? I don't know. I read the ESPN article, man, and it gave me a little bit more sustenance to what I already had read about, Plant's plea that it was not his fault that this fight is not happening. What do you guys think about what what Canelo Alvarez is asking for? And
allegedly asking for?
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
Well, that's the thing about the article. Like, where in the article did it say what the problem was?
Whoa.
Like, Plant said that he agreed. The article very clearly states that Plant agreed to the one-way rematch. He gave these stipulations up. All the stipulations that Coppinger gave were examples that Plant was giving of concessions he made. You know, he gave up the one-way rematch. You know, he gave up the fact that, you know, if he gets injured or sick, Canelo still gets, you know, the fight on that date. And if Canelo gets injured or sick,
that's what it was.
He has
bro.
to wait.
That's what it was. That's what they didn't concede to. No promotional company, and to give the facts, maybe you should read it since you're the English major. But the problem is Canelo Alvarez is essentially saying, I want $45 million, or rather, I will take $45 million to fight Caleb Plant. But if, for whatever reason, I get injured in camp, Plant has to wait on me, and we still do this fight for the same amount of money. But if the shoe's on the other foot and Plant gets injured, PBC must provide me with another fight in the same amount of time, or rather replacement.
Money.
Not a new promotion, a replacement for the same amount of money. So again, will Canelo say, okay, Caleb got injured, slide in Benavidez so that you can afford to pay me the 45? Or will he be like, nah, that's not what we agreed on? So it can't be a lesser opponent. You know, he can't have everything. This dude is tripping like, and I get it. When you become the A side, you make sure things are in your favor. But to start the negotiations with me saying that we not having a rematch, I'm not getting one, you not getting one, do me. But then when I send you the contract, it's like, yo, I changed my mind. I want one, but you can't have one. What the hell? Nah, man, he's tripping.
I just feel like what A-side wouldn't have that or make that option, you know.
Lomachenko.
Giving Canelo a shot. And I'm not saying
question.
that there aren't examples, but let's be honest, like the majority of A-siders in that position are asking for a rematch. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, you know, Canelo loses. Like, Canelo has bigger and better
Canelo.
things to do. You want him to beat Plant twice. You want him to concede to the idea of tying up Canelo for 2 fights, basically a full calendar year, when there are a plethora of other fighters. That's a ridiculous demand, and it's a ridiculous ask. But by the way, he did not disagree to it. He agreed to that.
And it don't matter that Caleb Plant is our Russell Crowe and Gladiator. It don't matter. It don't matter that he want to fight even though he know he got stabbed and he ain't gonna tell on the king. It don't matter.
Are you not entertained?
It don't matter. What only thing that matters here is that if you bringing all the belts and I ain't bringing nothing, like when AJ gave everyone a shot, yeah, he gets a one-way rematch because you ain't bringing nothing.
I was just ready to mention that,
but
because I don't remember Ruiz getting a rematch.
He bringing a belt. He bringing a belt. Like, how you gonna say, oh, you want to tie him up? Oh my God. No. I'm bringing something. I'm bringing actually what you need. You don't want it. Kick rocks, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, the belts can kick fucking rocks because
obviously
it's the Tank belt, it's the Canelo belt, it's the Mayweather belt, it's the Pacquiao belt, it's the De La Hoya belt. It's the A-side belt. That's what's up for grabs. We can call this undisputed, and that's fine. It'll sell tickets. It'll help the casual fans. It'll do all the things that it's supposed to do. But at the end of the day, those of us that understand prize fighting at its highest level understand what Canelo and Plant are fighting for. And Plant does too, by the way.
Well, you know, Mario just said that Canelo is the belt, Tank is the belt, it's the A-side belt. That would be true in certain circumstances, not in this one, because if the belt didn't matter, we wouldn't be having this show. If the belt didn't matter, Plant wouldn't be a topic. If the belt didn't matter, Canelo wouldn't be chasing it. So he's not a belt in this circumstance. He wants to be the first Mexican to actually attain the real belts, not the mythical ones you speak of. He wants the real ones. And in order to do that, you got to negotiate fairly. You understand? There shouldn't be a one-way rematch. Just because Caleb Plant is brave This shouldn't be we all flipped out when T.O. didn't get a rematch. We was like, what? Damn, Bob don't believe. That's fucked up. Everybody said it. So now we gonna let it happen again and be okay with it. But when it happened then, everybody had a problem. Oh, they treated T.O. so bad. Why they treating T.O.? Damn, no rematch clause. Why not? When it happened with Earl and Porter. Oh, wow, no rematch. Damn, that's crazy. They doing Porter dirty. But now it's okay because it's Canelo, the face of boxing. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Listen, when Mayweather starts giving his rematches, when De La Hoya starts giving his when everybody starts giving their rematches from the A-side position and boxing changes its culture, then sure, we can have that discussion. But until then, these circumstances are dictated by its history. Like, you're tripping if you say that's not true.
You know, the sad part is that you're showing your bias to your favorite fighter because, right, those situations and your scenario would be a good topic if it were the same, but it's not. Canelo led. See, my poll only shows that there are stupid-ass motherfuckers in boxing. Right? Because the conversation, the quotes, the contract states they started negotiating with no rematch. Canelo got scared at the 11th hour. Canelo said, hold up. Nah. Put that rematch clause. After he said, no, we going into this as a unification for undisputed, no one gets a rematch. Plant said, cool. He said, fuck, why is he so confident? Shit, man. Eddie, what you think I should do? Man, I always put AJ in a fucking rematch clause. You crazy. Well, put it then. Fuck you talking about, man? You can't tell me the car costs $10,000 and because I say, oh, 10? Yo, bring the bag. Nah, it's 15 now. No, what the fuck are we doing? Are we negotiating?
But
are we negotiating or are we dangling a carrot?
But the thing is that, listen, all your points would be valid if that's what derailed this fight. But it didn't. If Plant understands this well enough to have agreed to that, then I don't think that it's the people who are demanding that Canelo not, get these one-way rematches. They're the ones that need to understand what's going on.
Now, I want to know.
Plant's in this position. My bad. Go ahead, Doomy.
No, I just want to make it clear, right? It's only a rematch if Canelo loses.
Yes.
If Plant loses, he's not getting his rematch.
No.
Is that what Canelo's trying to put into his contract?
Yes.
That's what he did put successfully.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see, me and
I
Mario
have a problem with that.
Me and Mario are debating two different things, and I don't know how this always happens, right? Like, you see how it hit you, and you're like, whoa, that's unfair. And now me and you on the same page. It's about unfair. It ain't about face of boxing. It ain't about Caleb. It ain't about Earl. Unfair. Sure. You started the negotiations.
Yeah, I'll agree with
you
that.
started the negotiations saying, let's do this fairly, yo. No rematch for me, no rematch for you. All of a sudden, because I'm tough enough to say, yeah, I'll take that shit. I'll take your fucking no rematch clause. Oh, wait. Wait. No. Oh, put that clause back in there.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
almost like
here.
Jedi mind games in negotiations like that. You first agree to it that you don't care, no rematches. Then you get a response from the opponent, a very confident response from your opponent, and now you're putting it in only if you lose.
And look, and he still
I mean,
said,
if Canelo was super confident, he would give Plant also that option,
listen,
because either
Doomy,
way, he feels he's going to win.
Doomy, I don't know if you've gotten to that part that Plant still said, fuck it, you could have a one-way.
Yeah,
he
agreed to it. That's crazy.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, how is Mario on the other side? After him still conceding to that, then Canelo says, well, fuck, you ain't scared of that either? All right, well, fuck it then. If you get injured, you still got to pay me 40-something million. I don't care who I fight. What? Yeah. We don't get to reschedule? Like Wilder Fury? Oh, you think you the fucking prince of the world. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, but that's your problem right there, is you're not understanding that Canelo wants to fight on September 18th. Does he want to fight Caleb Plant? Absolutely. But it's not about whether it's Caleb Plant. It's somebody, because, again, Canelo's the attraction here. Oh so it's like you want Canelo to give up a date that he could make fighting Yeardom 2, right? But on the other side, you expect Plant to fight on the same day against who? Like, where's the draw there? Where are the ticket sales? Like, what's going to happen if Canelo gets injured, 2 weeks out and Plant still wants the date? Plant still want, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Canelo's date. This is Canelo's promotion. He can make money without Plant on that date.
I let you speak, man, because I didn't want to interrupt you. Please, man. Please formulate your debate in your head before you say it. Like, everything you said makes no sense, right?
I think he's trying to get the business part into this, and
no. Let me finish, bro. Because he's wrong. He's saying that if Canelo gets injured, Plant wants the date. No.
Well, I didn't say it like that.
No,
that's not what's happening. Plant and PBC are simply saying, someone gets hurt, we reschedule. Don't you see Wilder Fury? Rescheduled. When someone gets hurt, we reschedule. Not Plant got hurt, we give you 45 with anybody on our fucking channel. Like, why are we all of a sudden acting like we're not real boxing fans? He's doing some bullshit. If Plant gets hurt, we reschedule. If you get hurt, we reschedule. Mario's such a fucking Canelo fan. He's saying, well, what do you want, Canelo to wait if Plant gets hurt? Yeah, he needs the belt. Like now fighters aren't supposed to get hurt in camp. It's like, yo, you fight Canelo, motherfucker. 8 weeks, if you get hurt, you're done. No, that's not how it works. I'm training for a fight.
I think the argument.
You believe in belts like kids believe in tooth fairy.
Look at what you're making the argument, Mario. Won't you be fucking a purist, bro? What are you making this argument? Talking about belts and shit. Like, be a purist.
It's Mexico independence. It's Cinco de Mayo.
Exactly. If I understand Mario's argument for the least bit, is that even if Caleb Plant gets injured, Canelo, according to Marioski, if I'm interpreting it right, he still wants to fight on that date, and he can still make just as much money, I guess.
No, that's what he's saying. That is wrong. No, Caleb can't do that. Only Canelo is telling you in the contract that he wants to do.
That's exactly what he said. He said that 100%.
Who?
Doomy just said that almost verbatim. Yeah, he had it right.
No, he just said Plant wants to fight on that date.
Oh,
not
he
Plant.
said Canelo. I promise you.
Canelo,
all right.
You can rewind it if you want.
Yeah, Canelo, and I'm trying to interpret to see if maybe I understand where Mario's coming from. I guess that if Plant can't fight on that day, if he gets injured, Canelo still wants to fight on that day. He wants to be paid that much money because he could still make that much money even if he fought the guy that's a bartender. So,
but that's not true.
I'm not saying he could make that money. I'm not saying he could make that money.
That's not true.
The same amount. I'm just saying that he could still fight on that date and make a profit because it's Mexico independence, because it's Cinco de Mayo, and it's the same. It's the same reason why De La Hoya and Mayweather fought him.
And I understand that, Mario.
Listen. Let me jump in. Let me jump in because you and him just talked. Let me jump in. Just remember this one thing: when Canelo fought Yeardom, he didn't get paid the same. So to say that Plant will get injured and just brush it over, this wide paintbrush he got to say, no, Canelo's still gonna make money on that day. Opponent always matters. Always matters. With Liam Smith, he did 300,000. With Liam Smith, he sold 40-something thousand tickets at $10 though. So opponent always matters. Let's not lie to the audience.
I don't know who said that.
I'm speaking in general so that no one gets confused with some of the stuff that's being said. Because no other fighter, okay, because I don't have to do what other people are doing. I'll just give you facts. Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather are the biggest fighters in this generation, and neither one of them said, if you get injured, guess what? Pay me the $200 million I'm owed for a Pacquiao fight while I wait for you to fucking get healed. That doesn't exist.
Isn't that a little bit of different?
It's ludicrous. Yeah. It's ludicrous. And for anyone to stand on that fucking side, you aren't a boxing fan. You're a ball licker.
Yo, I like the shirt, by the way.
What side, though? I don't understand.
On the side of Canelo, asking a network to give him a $45 million tune-up if Plant gets injured. That is a ball licker. Anybody who agrees with that is a ball licker.
Who's said that or who's agreed to that? I don't understand. You sound like you got in a fight with somebody else on the side or something.
That's the terms of the contract. Who is
saying that they're on that side? What I'm trying to tell you is
I'm speaking in general. Anybody fucking listening, anybody who thinks that Plant is in the wrong. You're a ball licker because the contract states that one man will be granted a $40-something million tune-up. It's unheard of in boxing, just like flat fees in a super fight. So I stand my ground. Unheard of shit in negotiations ain't gonna fly just because you're Canelo Alvarez. I'm not a fanboy. Other people seem to be. I'm not pointing fingers. Shoe fits, wear it. You keep asking who you talking to. I ain't talking to you, but you feel like I am because I guess that shoe fitting like a motherfucker.
I feel like
Cinderella got that glass slipper
I feel like
on.
it would be crazy for somebody to be having an argument with fucking nobody. That's why I called you on it. But again, the point is, which side are you on?
I got a million people that tune in every month.
Which side you're on?
A million people that tune in every month, so it ain't nobody. I'm talking a million people.
Which side you're on? Which side you're on is about whose fault this is, right?
Who's to blame?
Who fucked this up?
Who's to blame?
Yeah, who's to blame? So at what point are you going to tell me what is to blame? Because Plant agreed to these things. So what is the?
He did not agree. He didn't agree.
Let me ask you like this.
He didn't agree, Mario. Why you keep lying to the audience? He didn't agree to a
What did he agree to?
The people above him they wouldn't let him agree to, we're gonna pay Canelo $40+ million for a tune-up. They won't agree.
No. You're misunderstanding my question. What I'm telling you is that you're saying whose side you're on, correct? Right? That's what you're asking. There's two sides to this. It's either Canelo's fault or it's Plant's fault, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say is that there is no fault. It's Canelo's asking for the things that A side's asked to, and it's impossible for Plant to concede to that. Like, it's not Plant's money. Plant isn't saying yes or no to 40 mil. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this isn't even a debate. Like, these are facts that have come out, and I mean, that's it. That's all this is. It's a stupid argument. Like, it's not really even a debate.
No, the argument continues because you keep saying silly things like, these are just A-side tactics. These are not A-side tactics. These are unheard of situations, just like AJ's flat fee. So when someone goes outside the box of negotiations, you call them on it. You keep using the wide brush to lie to the audience and say, these are A-side tactics. No A-side in history ever asks for a $40-something million tune-up if the other significant fighter in the fight gets injured. We've never seen this before. So for you to continuously say, these are A-side tactics, and try to brush it under the rug and say, why are you acting crazy? Who are you arguing? I'm arguing with whoever thinks Canelo isn't wrong. He just brought some whole brand new shit to boxing.
So then you are.
Let Doomy talk. Let Doomy talk.
It's a new A-side tactic. I'll tell you that.
Listen, how many people have made 40 million, Doomy? Like, he's acting like this is some fucking, run-of-the-mill type of promotion. This is an A-side giving a true B-side his shot. The same way we saw with De La Hoya and Mayweather. The same we've seen in every situation. Like, we're not going to sit here and pretend that Plant brings
that belt, though. That belt.
Mario,
I think that belt, in Ness's argument, that belt brings that other piece that changes things of him just being a classical B-side. You know what I'm saying? That Canelo wants to be that super unified middleweight champion. I think that is what's given, I guess, Plant a little bit more of that edge than your classical B-side. So it's like, if how bad do you want it? I mean, could you A-side tactic your way out of a fight? You know what I'm saying? It could be possible, because at the end of the day, Caleb Spice agreed to all of this, except for, I guess, the $40 million.
Because that's not within his purview. Like, he can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like look. I get what you're saying, I do. But the only thing I want to ask you is from a... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see... I literally just saw that you had your hand up. My bad. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I was going like this when even Doomy was talking, just to notify that I wanted to be next. Just to go ahead and keep putting these nails in the coffin so motherfuckers can't get out. I want to bury you alive. I want you breathing. I want the air to slightly start to just dissipate. So it's hard. Your chest starts to pound. You're getting anxious. Your palms are sweaty. You don't know what you're going to do. You're banging on that coffin right now. The dirt.
It's beyond me.
Every shovel of dirt is landing on top of it. People say PBC is broke. Wilder offered $50 million to AJ to get the fight done. They said that didn't exist. Where the fuck Wilder gonna get it from? So you tell me where's Plant getting it from? These dummies over here that think they know boxing, talking about Canelo's the A side. How you the A side? You ain't the one making the offer. Somebody explain to me that you the A side. Matter of fact, don't explain. Don't explain, because I don't want your theories. I want you to go Google an article of a A side that got offered money. Because usually the A-sides offer the money. Usually the A-sides control the promotion. That's how an A-side works. When you the A-side Floyd Mayweather, you control the promotion. You offer Manny Pacquiao the money. You offer Roberto Guerrero the money. So these motherfuckers that ain't on my level trying to argue and debate about A-side tactics, no, you're not. That's why you ain't getting what you want, because you ain't the A-side. 40 million coming from over here, where the money's at. Matter of fact, didn't you just say nobody got 40 before? We're dealing with new shit. We're talking about 40 million. Yeah, it's a lot of money. The same 10 million less than what Wilder offered that people said wasn't there. All of a sudden, Keller Plant ain't a heavyweight, and he can offer 40 million. He ain't A-side though.
You want payday.
He ain't A-side though.
You done with ignoring.
All of a sudden we gonna have a lot of people. All of a sudden we gonna have a lot. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Have anything.
Okay. Okay. Go. No, do your thing, champ. You disrespecting is all good.
I just want you to, in your response, understand that you still talk. You're making fun of me about talking about new shit when this is new shit. Like, when were we ever in a situation where there was a streaming service like Dazn and there was a PBC out there with a Fox and then an ESPN? It was two entities, HBO, Showtime. That's what dealt with. Those were who were showing boxing. You understand? That was who was showing boxing. And how many cross promotions like this have there been? Because, I mean, you would know. You covered the sport while most of them have happened. So how many, like, again, these are unprecedented times. There are very few precedents for this. The Mayweather Pacquiao, I mean, there are very few instances. So you can't sit here and say, well, this is how it should go, and this is how it usually goes. And this, like, you're talking about a situation where DAZN would have happily paid to have this fight on their platform.
Why are you lying again?
They don't have the money.
Keep lying.
They don't have the ability to do with
why you
what
keep
PBC
lying? Why you keep lying? If DAZN had happily paid, why they ain't match right offer? Why you keep lying, man?
But who's to say they have the ability to do that?
Do me. Let me ask you something. Eddie Hearn. Yeah, see, I'm getting to him. He got to call me stupid. Thank you. 2 times disrespect. Yo, do me. Tell me, why did Eddie on the interview say, we sent Keller Plant an offer, but we're now waiting for them because we get the feeling they want a 3-fight deal. Then the rumor comes out Espinoza wanted a 3-fight deal. Then the rumor comes out that the fight could be off, and then no, Caleb says, yeah, I'll take the 1-fight deal. So what are we talking about? Why can't you They're negotiating, obviously. They started at a 1-fight, you come to the zone. Caleb counters and says, no, 3-fight, you come over here. They say no. Caleb says, okay, 1-fight, you come over here. Where is Eddie's offer saying no? 1-fight, you come back over here. Let me give Canelo $50 million and you 20. He can't beat the offer.
That's what I was about to say. You a
liar.
That's what I'm saying.
You a liar.
He can't beat the offer.
You a liar.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You just literally said out your mouth, they want the fight. They want the fight. They want the fight. Go get it. Go get it. If you want the fight, go get it. If you want the fight, go get it. Stop lying. You're lying to the people.
Canelo's on the
PBC side. Same dumb shit. I'm trying to go ahead, Doomy. I'm sorry.
No. I just figured that, you know, if Eddie doesn't want to pay for it or he can't pay for it,
he can't afford it.
Canelo's still the golden goose. So I understand that's when you say A sides are usually the ones that bring the offer.
That's right.
But we can't forget what position Canelo holds, and I know that it's like a legendary position.
He's
in
a
sense,
feature,
right?
Doomy.
Talking about
you don't know that. You don't know that.
A-side fighters.
He's a feature, Doomy. He's a feature. This is what you do when you an artist like Keller Plant. You go pay the whatever Jay-Z's asking for, whatever Drake is asking for. Fucking Canelo's on a feature on this single, okay? We paying for this. This our shit. Fuck is y'all talking about?
But he's also the artist.
He being paid for his services.
He's also the artist that's gonna make sure your album goes triple platinum.
Absolutely. But who's the A side? Who's putting up the
We're
money?
talking about artists
Who's
and
putting
we're
up the
talking
money?
about
Who's the lead
studios. Like, that's
promotion?
what you're
Who's the
talking
lead
about. That's the
promotion?
diff-
Who's the lead promotion? Who's putting up the money? Who's picking the
PBC.
venue? Who's picking the broadcaster? So let's stop
that
lying.
doesn't have anything to do with
Let's
the
stop
power
lying.
of that
Let's stop
fucking
lying.
fighter's
Who
name
writing the
with
check,
casuals.
motherfucker?
What the
Who
fuck
writing
are
the
you
check?
talking
Who
about?
writing the
You're
check?
arguing-
Who writing
you're
the check?
debating
Who
the
writing the
point
check?
with
Who
somebody
writing the
else because
check?
that's not the
Answer
fucking-
that.
that's
Answer that,
not-
motherfucker. Is the
that's
zone
not
writing the
the
check
debate.
or is Al Heyman writing the check?
Motherfucker, you
Answer
ain't
it. Answer it. Is it the
debate.
zone
You
or is it
fucking
Al
debate.
Heyman? You mad?
Exactly, because you
You
fucking
mad?
can't. That's why.
Should no be.
He mad.
You're fucking mad. You're the biggest fucking fanboy of them all. You fucking
All right,
calling
boys.
everybody else
Let's bring
fanboy.
it back.
Like,
Look how
bro,
mad he is.
seriously.
He cursing more than he ever cursed.
Bring it back, boys.
Because you're fucking frustrating. Like, what am I gonna say? You're a fucking child, so it makes me cuss. Yes, you're right. I fucking react to.
Yo,
Yeah.
he tight. He tight. His Mexican warrior out here looking like a fucking duck.
Listen, I'm a
Suck a
flawed
duck.
human being.
Suck a duck.
I'm a
Suck a
flawed
duck.
human being. I react to dumb shit, and you filled with dumb shit.
You
especially
mad?
this morning.
Why you so mad? He just
Because
a
you
fighter.
fuck-
He just a fighter.
That's why.
He
What
just
you
a
talking
fighter.
about?
He not
No,
even your
it's-
brother.
Bro, you're the only one yelling about the fighter. Nobody else yelling
You
about the fight.
Calablanc.
Yeah. I'm
Calablanc.
mad. It's embarrassing.
Calablanc. 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 I'm coming for your belt. Lies.
At the end of the day, we
Lies.
can all agree on this panel that some of these wants and claims and demands from Canelo are rubbing off the wrong way, especially to Caleb Plant. And all I see on this article
To
that I
real
read,
boxing fans, except Mario.
Caleb Plant. No, because at the end of the day, real boxing fans are also real Canelo fans and real Mexican independent, all the
separate
day.
things.
So it's like there's a lot of leverage, okay? And I get it. PBC is offering, they're the A side, they're the ones making this happen, but they're the promotional company, so they're supposed to be doing that because they want Canelo on this side. Canelo still has the ability to make these demands. Now, whether PBC is going to accept it or not, that's a whole nother issue. When do you go into a negotiation and not try to get the best deal you can, especially if you're Canelo, Mayweather, or Pac-Man? You're gonna ask for everything. So the
And you just mentioned what? Nothing but A sides, right?
Nothing but A sides.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not about. It used to be about the promotion and the network offering the money because the biggest fighters were tied to those places.
Sure.
In this sense, the one thing that Ness said that was right was that they can't outbid that, they can't outdo the offer that's coming from PBC. So it's like if a fighter was in position to be a free agent back then and could just say, okay, I'm going to fight this guy, Showtime, HBO, who wants it more? That's essentially the situation that Canelo put himself in. So I'm not going to be any more upset with Canelo because times have changed and boxing has evolved, and now he's in a position to do things that I promise you're fucking stupid if you don't think Mayweather would have done the same thing, if De La Hoya would have done the same thing. This isn't about anything else than an A-side trying to get the most he can from a fight, and it's the oldest shit in boxing history. That's all I'm trying to say.
Now check this out.
Can I get a
real quick
turn?
before
Can
you
I get a
jump in.
turn since you talked and then he talked? Is it okay for the silent one to go?
Nah, you debating the ghost in the corner.
Is it
Keep going,
okay?
champ. Y'all having
Is
a
it
good
okay,
debate.
moderator? Is it okay for me to
Be
go?
blessed. Be
You and
blessed
the guy
just
at
like
the
your
table.
Go ahead.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Y'all can debate.
This dude's debate tactics are they're like for babies, bro. Listen to what he just
You mean
said.
the one where you insult
I didn't
me
cut you
before you
off,
start
man.
yours?
I didn't cut you
I
off.
didn't insult you before I talked either.
Come on. So Doomy, he says, look at history, right? Mayweather, Oscar, you're stupid to think they wouldn't have done this. So can he also just put a new fucking like pyramid in Florida? You can't rewrite history. Mayweather's retired. Oscar's retired. They didn't do it. You understand? What are you fucking talking about? You're stupid to think they wouldn't have done it. They're retired and didn't do it. They were in the biggest fight. Mayweather till this day has still been in the most lucrative fight, not only generating money, but also guaranteed purse. And he didn't use this ridiculous tactic, but you want to lie on his name, a man that's already retired, and showed you he didn't do what you say. So if it's that easy to rewrite history, let's put pyramids everywhere. Let's bring back one of, I don't know, somebody great, Abraham Lincoln. What the fuck are you talking? You cannot do that. You can't just put that on somebody that they would have done, especially if they showed you that they didn't. Their career's over. At least say that about someone active, because then they have the possibility of doing it. But someone that is retired, you're like just lying.
Yeah, so can you also admit that
let him talk, moderator. Come on, moderator. This dude's out of control. Say something.
Yeah, shut me up whenever I have a point to make against what Ness just said. But whatever.
Nah, go ahead. You got to get your turn, and then I step in.
It's all good. You got it. It's all good.
I think that from what I got from Mario was that in that evolved state that the sport's in, that these fighters that he mentioned, which Ness just stated that they didn't show you that they would do that they would, he, in his opinion, they would have done the most they could have done for themselves in this situation. So whether or not they would have done it or not, we can't say that because they're already retired. But I get what you're trying to say, Mario. That if they would have been in this opportunity currently, when what the state of boxing is now, that they would have tried to get as much as they could. But to Ness's point, they never did, right? They never did something like that. And I don't know, because I would have to go back and see if there was any negotiations ever made like that, where a replacement you still get paid 40, whatever purse you were going to get paid for fighting a replacement. So it's a thing of let's live in the now. Is it right now? Is Canelo right for asking for that particular? I don't care about the other stuff, golf tournaments, all that other stuff. I don't care about that. Is it right, for Canelo to say you still got to pay me $40 million if Plant gets injured? And I don't know if that's fair unless the numbers make sense. Now, if Canelo's saying, okay, my event's going to garner this much money, I'm bringing this much money to the table, you guys can't make that. You guys can't pay me the amount you're paying me unless I'm performing on that day.
Moderator, chill. Because this is a guaranteed contract, so chill. We don't need Canelo. See, this is the problem with these poor debate tactics, right? These dudes that want to defend Canelo. Canelo ain't bringing the money. We're giving you the money. We don't need you to make the money. Do we need you to make it back? Obviously. Who the fuck doesn't want an ROI? Business 101. But we got guaranteed money over here. It's guaranteed money over here. And I just want this to show that this $40 million proves that Wilder's $50 million was fucking real.
The ambulance better be ready. The medical better be ready.
Now look, $40 million. I don't know if that says that the 50 were there, but it damn sure makes it a good argument.
Do me. So now you want me to put my attention to you. How you gonna say a super middleweight could get you $40 million, but a heavyweight who's been defended his title 10 times, who the world knows as a heavyweight fucking puncher, can't get you 50? 10 more? One dude who never been on pay-per-view, whose record don't even look like Wilder's, could get you 40, but the other dude can't. Man, stop it. Stop it.
Yo, let's get to some of these super chats, man. It's going nuts over here. Let me see who we got first.
Slow down so I can screen share all of them.
All right.
Just so everybody could get their screen share on.
All right. Whoa, look at this guy. We got the first super chat. Virtuoso says, good morning, TBV crew and everyone in the chat. Glove emoji and bell emoji. Shout out to you, Virtuoso. KDDR says, listen how silly it sound. B-side eggplant emoji complaining about 40 mil payday for Canelo, like he paying him. And if he gets injured, Canelo can still be on pay-per-view.
Yeah, versus who?
That's
what I'm saying. Versus who? So Al is just supposed to agree that we're gonna still let you fight on that day on our network, pay you the same amount, and not have approval on who. Do we get the Sly Benavidez in there?
That's what I was ready to say. Like, if I'm getting a last minute replacement like a Benavidez, I'm still gonna give you the $40 million.
Are you? Are you not thinking business? Is Benavidez not 22 years old? Is he not a two-time WBC champ? Is he not already the mandatory? Why do you got to put your fighter in a short notice fight when he's already gonna get that belt? He already gonna get that belt. Come on, dog. You're not thinking like a businessman.
No, but he's gonna have to.
I'm gonna take Benavidez out of a fight that he's already training for. I'm gonna put him in a short notice fight where he's gonna fuck around and lose because he ain't been training for Canelo. And then he's gonna
fight is in 30 days, no?
So you want him to go do a Andy too?
Andy Ruiz.
Yeah,
yeah.
See how?
Why not? It worked out for Andy. He stayed in shape.
It didn't work out for Sergey Kovalev though. So for everything,
but Sergey was on the vodka.
Whatever you got, I got an answer for. It ain't work out for one man. It don't matter. Andy fat. He allowed to lose weight. It was better for him. These dudes is lean. Plant lean.
I mean, look, whether or not that would be the option, I'm just saying that if that was the option, then okay, I can be okay with 40 mil for Benavidez.
Doomy, you don't gotta do hypotheticals. We all know the Canelo wasn't okay. Remember, they tried to offer him Plant.
This is true.
Charlo Benavidez. He didn't want that. So why would you all of a sudden you're gonna be okay with Benavidez last minute? The dude that
let's think about who else is on.
But again though, that's the whole point to this. It's like the network is the one offering the money, right? The promoter, it's all coming from the other side of opposite from the A side. Like, when does that happen? When does that happen in boxing? Like, it's a very rare situation. So no, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just saying it's a very rare situation. So the whole point I'm trying to make is
happened to Canelo already, Mario.
No. Okay, you know what? Maybe that was a stupid point, but the point I'm trying to make is this. Canelo is in a situation where he's not with PBC and Al Heyman, right? So he wants to fight on that date regardless. He wants to get the money, and it's like in his mind, because PBC doesn't make money off of Canelo, that's where this is different than any other situation that's ever happened. If Robert Guerrero gets hurt, of course they're going to find a late replacement for Floyd because it's still a PBC event, or at the time, Mayweather Promotions, Al Heyman event. So because Al doesn't own the rights to Canelo and doesn't care about, any other situation but him fighting one of his fighters, he doesn't care about just making Canelo money. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a situation that's never occurred like this. Like, this is a very, very rare thing. Usually Al has the best fighter in the ring that night. And the A side, the most high-profile fighter in Floyd or Broner or whoever, even Pacquiao. Like, he's always had the best fighter, the A side in the ring. And this is a situation where it's different. So that's why we don't have these other, examples throughout history. That's why this is unprecedented.
You done? Because I didn't want to cut you off. I got to stop using the word lying because I guess you just don't know. But you're wrong. This happens all the time. It happened with Gennady.
Give me an example.
I'm trying. Stop cutting me off. I'm quiet to give you all the time.
My bad. Go ahead.
Like, it just happened with Gennady Golovkin and Chris Eubank. It just happened. It was a Eddie Hearn promotion. He's acquiring the services of the bigger name in Gennady Golovkin. He wants his fighter, Chris Eubank, in the fight. Chris, whatever happens, he doesn't, the father was trying to put ticket prices or whatever. Slides in a late minute replacement because he's on the same side. These things happen. And we can do it again. The UK has a dozen instances, right? When you're the money, just like my man Cambosos. Before all this bullshit, where was this fight gonna happen? In Australia. Why? Because of the money. Pacquiao got sent to Australia. Why? Because of the money. Stop lying to my audience, man. B-sides always can be an A-side if you bring the money, man. Anthony Mundine brought motherfuckers to Australia all the time. Like, why we letting this dude lie? I don't know, man. And I don't want to call you a liar, but you're like, it's like selective amnesia on the sport.
I just feel like the difference between those is that Canelo can fight on the 18th or Cinco de Mayo, right? No matter who he fights, he can fight on those dates. The example in Cambosos is he can't do that. I don't know, maybe he could. Honestly, I don't know how big he is in Australia, but he can't do that. Triple G can't do that. They can't just show up on a date and say no matter who they fight, there's going to be a large demographic that's going to buy in. That's, again, the only time, because all those metaphors, you're right. Those are exactly the examples I'm talking about, and it feels like my point gets crushed. But every time I think about it, I think, but these are not Canelos. These are not, Mayweathers we're talking about. We're talking about other examples where the money's smaller.
Let's just admit that this tactic that you're using, that, but Canelo can fight on September. You're right. I agree, right? He can fight on September. The difference is he will not make 40 plus million. This is a recorded career high payday. And let me remind all you Canelo fanboys, he no longer makes 36 million. That stopped a long time ago.
Done.
Okay, his last reported purse was like 17 something up front. So stop. You don't know more about Canelo than me. Stop. Just stop lying. It's silly. Like, yeah, he don't want this planned fight. He'll still fight on September on an app and won't make 40 million or pay-per-view upside and won't be undisputed. Stop lying. It's not the same.
No, that's what you're not getting about this.
I didn't cut you off, man. I didn't cut you off.
Only because you're not understanding. This would still be a PBC fight.
All right, man. Go ahead, yo. Do your thing, champ.
It would still be a PBC fight. I mean, you're. So you want me to not lie, but you're lying. You're lying when you say that. Oh, he could still go over to an app. He could still go over to Dazn. The truth is, he would still be fighting a PBC fight. That's the whole point to this, is that he's signing to PBC for this fight. So whether it's against Plant or whoever, that's what he wants. I mean, that's what he's asking for. If the 40 million is right, I don't know. I think that's high. It shouldn't just be for whoever, but he wants a fight on that date regardless. Would you think this would be fair if Plant was getting to fight on that date regardless? Like, is it only fair because it's Canelo pushing it back? Like, do you even think Plant would want to fight on September 18th? Let's start there. Oh shit, are we still live? Okay, I guess we are still live. My thing just cut out too. Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to fight. This is fucking stupid. I mean, this is, all we're trying to do is get to what the truth is, what, really is happening. And at this point, I still don't even know what it is exactly that is, I mean, we've heard from one side. I'm not saying that Plant's lying. I don't think he's lying at all. I just also don't think that the situation's as black and white. I really don't. And I still have hope for this fight. I don't think that it doesn't not happen. I still think it happens.
Look, the debate that you and Ness were having was I mean, besides the intense energy that was coming from both of you, because I'm pretty sure both of you stand on what you believe this fight or this case to be. But in full scope of this, just looking at it for what it is, right? Let's put aside for a second, the stardom. Because I know that's one thing that you're laying heavy on, right? Is it a fair tactic? Let's just say that. Let's go from right and wrong, not what should be because of my position. And that could go either way, right? But is it a fair tactic to put into a contract that at a last minute replacement, you still got to give me $40 million? Like, how do we justify that, Mario?
That by itself, no, you're absolutely right. But is it fair to sign to somebody to have a fight and then expect to have that fight regard? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, is it not fair? Like, because basically what this is saying is that Canelo's so big that Plant would be expected to fight him regardless, and the date would get pushed back, right? Ness used Wilder Fury as an example. But in that example, both those guys are A-sides. Both those guys are the biggest fighters, in the ring. So, again, it's not the same thing for me. It's like if Canelo gets hurt, I mean, what? Plant's going to step in and fight Benavidez? Who's he going to fight? Charlo? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he still wants the Canelo fight. Like, that's to me, that's the most obvious part about this.
I mean, I get that. But and again, these negotiations haven't. It's not like this is the last of what we hear from this, right? Obviously, there's going to be more negotiating, more talking, and hopefully, this fight can still happen. I mean, the horizon is pointing towards Bivol. I mean, I'm looking at things. I'm seeing what's going on in the digital world and what's being put out there, and Dimitri Bivol is Dimitri Bivol a bigger fight? Can he still do these numbers? Can he still make this money with Dimitri Bivol? And Dimitri Bivol is with who? I know he's not with PBC.
No, definitely not. Yeah, listen, that fight can be made on the other side with Dazn. That's a fight that, okay, let's put it like that for a second. Do you think that there's a wide discrepancy between people that know Plant and people that know Bivol? Now, I'm not saying that they don't know Plant more here in America. Of course they do. All I'm saying is that, from a fight that fight fans want to see, of course the Plant fight is the one. But again, my only point is that when we're talking about money and we're talking about numbers, how much different is a Plant versus a Bivol for Canelo in terms of how much he's able to make? You know what I'm saying? So, and obviously it's not the sexy fight that Plant is, but it still represents a huge milestone. It still represents a significant win. So you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, it definitely that, and that's what I was trying to get your insights on what luster does it have in comparison to Plant. But now that you say that, and you say that Plant, is probably the fight that the fans want to see, I just I revert you back to that $40 million guarantee for a late replacement. Are you okay as a fan if Canelo lets this fight slip because of that certain negotiation in the contract? As a fan, are you okay with saying, what, Alvarez was right, and you know what, he should just he should say screw Plant and go into this fight with Bivol? I'm okay with that. Or you are the one to say, you know what, I don't think that this really justifies you not fighting Caleb Plant. I think that people want to see it. People want to see unified champ. So where do you stand on that? Because it is a better fight with Plant.
For me, it's like two different questions. Like, for me, on one side, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if it's, hot dog sales or who comes out first. There is no reason from the fan in me for a fight to not get done, negotiated, because everybody knows their roles for the most part. Some people can build themselves up more than they are, but at the end of the day, everybody, money speaks for itself. The numbers speak for themselves. If this was Canelo versus Jamal, yeah, I would have a huge problem with, these situations. If this was, Canelo versus even Benavidez, I would again have it, but with Plant, I don't even think he's the guy that can beat Canelo. I think Bivol has a better shot of beating Canelo, to be honest with you. So again, from this perspective of, which fight would I rather see more? Of course, it's the Plant fight, but, is there that big of a difference? For me personally, no, I don't. But,
Yeah, man. And look, we started this whole show with, is this a fair negotiation tactic, right? Who's really to blame? Late minute addendum, one-way rematch. That was the title of this show. So it's like, I wonder how the TBV family out there feels about this one, because who's to blame? I mean, can you really blame PBC for not accepting that? Could you really blame PBC if they decide to say, you know what, that's too much? Or could you blame Canelo, and say, hey, it's you're asking for too much? So it's either you blame PBC for not adhering to it or agreeing to it, or you blame Canelo for even asking for it. So it's a situation where they're gonna have to make. Someone's gonna have to bend. Someone's gonna have to bend, and I don't know if it's gonna be Canelo, because Canelo can always go and be great somewhere else. But the key to this is how bad does Canelo want it? How bad does he want it? Does he want it bad enough to where he can go ahead and say, you know what, forget about that 40 million for the late replacement. You know, these are negotiations again, people. These are things that are just back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes fights take a little longer than others to make. So I'm not going to give up on the fight. Am I going to entertain Dimitri Bivol? Am I going to get excited for it? Of course I am. It's Canelo going back up to 175. So as a fan, I'm going to tune into it. But as a real boxing fan that knows what unifications mean, I'm going to be real upset. You know, I'm going to be like, damn, you know, you weren't able to get through that hump. You got PBC offering you an all-time high payout.
You know why I might not be as upset right now, or why I might get upset later, because I really don't believe this is done. I think that this was a strategic story that was, you know, no pun intended, planted, you know, for whatever reason, you know, and I'm not saying it was malicious or that it was foul or anything like that. All I'm saying is that it was a situation where, you know, these guys, oh shit,
let me get to some super chats.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, my internet just froze.
It's all love, brother. Let's get to the people, because that's the people, and the people matter. All right, we left off at, let me see. Woo, they came in like that 10 punch combo Pac-Man be catching you with. All right. Whoa, damn. All right, TBV family. Y'all really speaking your mind this morning. All right. We're here with my mans in them Capuni, who says, give Canelo what he is used to, even in fine print. Plant the D side onto Bivol. Oh! There you go, Capuni, you know. Give Canelo what he's used to. But you know what? You can't ignore the fact that certain claim, what's the right appropriate word, Mario? Claim, want, demand, negotiation.
Yeah, I think
demand, right? Well, that demand it's not like it's something that's been done before. So you can't just give Canelo what he's used to, you know? You got to be able to listen. I don't know if 10 million if 10 million less than that is gonna you know, make or break the fight. I mean, I know that numbers can be negotiated. If you can't give me 40 million for the late replacement, then what can you give me? You know, and the public doesn't have that number, so we don't know if there was another number that was countered by Canelo team, if the PBC side said no, we're not doing that. But again, Texas Bulldog Boxing up next says Canelo a diva. Much respect, Ness, for being one hunch. Well, you already know, man. Canelo can be a diva because, you know, he's Canelo, man.
And I'm not even saying he's not being a diva. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a true statement. 100% he is, you know?
Yeah, and look, when you get to a certain level and you earned your spot, you know, you're going to flex out a little bit, you know?
Word. Yeah.
You're going to flex out a little bit. This is a little extreme in the flexing out because, again, you know, you just kind of haven't heard that, you know? But, again, go back to Canelo's ability to, you know, get crowds and get eyes onto the TV, then you start to just kind of like go back and forth within your own opinion. You got Puro Sur Central BXO who says, fellas, if you were Plant, would you let this opportunity pass for the reasons that we debating? You want to play rough? Okay. Oh, nah, man. I would definitely wouldn't just let it slip. I would definitely try to look. And it's not like Plant's letting it slip. Plant is not letting it slip. Plant has agreed to almost everything. Agreed to the golf tournaments in the whole nine. Plant's not trying to let it slip. So I don't think that's anywhere true or him allowing this opportunity to pass. I think it's PBC, right? It's PBC as a whole and their position and willingness to, you know, pay this amount for a late replacement, which that's really what's kind of like sticking out here in this contract. On to the next one. Alex Jones says Ness wrong as usual. Hadouken! Quick Hadouken from Alex Jones. Joseph Super Max on the super chat, and he says Ness reaching hard as fuck. No one said they aren't going to reschedule. He's saying he is fighting on that date regardless and still sell that fight regardless. Okay, yeah, well, we haven't heard anything else besides what we just heard, so anything else that hasn't been put out there, we know nothing of it. But super, if there's something else that's out there saying that there's a reschedule. If there's anything out there being put out besides what's out there, let us know, champ. Noah G. Dallas says Canelo was only trying to steal shine from Oscar's press conference to get under his skin. That fight is still on and will happen.
Hadouken!
You think that's true, though?
Nah.
Oh, man. Oscar, did you see the face-off, though?
I did.
Okay, because, bro.
Yo, it's going to be crazy, bro.
It looks way bigger than
No, let me tell you, dog. Like, they were doing the, like the boxing versus thing went down yesterday. Shout out to all them, who, did that or whatever. But all them dudes were, talking and even Maestro and D-Style. A lot of people are picking Vitor Belfort. A lot of people, bro. Like, it's crazy. And here's the thing. Usually I would be like, oh man, these are, dumb idiot, but they're not. Like, Maestro knows boxing. Like, D-Style knows boxing. I promise you. Like, people are picking Belfort more and more. I think it's because of the 180. I think it's also because of De La Hoya, the way he's been looking. But I'm going with De La Hoya, though. I've just been a lifelong fan.
Okay, I'm going to stick with boxing. I'll root for my man De La Hoya. Next one's RSC Boxing, who says, Ness, chill. Canelo don't trust him to not pull a bait and switch. He wants that date, 9/18 for $40 million. Plant or no plant. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, I see. Yeah, well, Canelo, that's what Mario was arguing, that no matter what, he wants that date and that, he could pull in a big buy or in a pay-per-view by audience or whatever you want to say. He's in that position. Unless I'm interpreting it wrong, right, Mario?
Nah, I think you're interpreting it.
Yeah,
correct.
Canelo wants the date, but I get it. Whether or not it's gonna happen for that 40 mil with a bogus replacement, you got to give me something else. And I know we just mentioned Benavidez. Shout out to Benavidez. He has his own target ahead of him in the next 30 days. So likelihood of that happening is very slim, right? We could only wish that it could be like an Andy Ruiz. We could only wish that, he fights that fight and he's clean. But, Ness made interesting points on that. And we're not guaranteed somebody of that caliber. So who are you fighting for 40 mil? KDDR says, I don't know what's the big fucking deal. All Eggplant has to do is not break his fragile plastic hands, but protect the two-time duck and Heyman plastic glove champs be shit. KD, man. I try to read that one the best as possible. I'll do it one more time. I don't know what's the big effing deal. All Eggplant has to do is not break his fragile plastic hands, but stop and protect a two-time duck and Heyman plastic. You lost me on that one, champ. Please.
I mean, man, Al.
Yeah,
Al.
And Al Heyman plastic glove. Champs.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, be poop.
I don't know.
He got hieroglyphic on me. Shout out to you, champion.
Puro Sur Freemasonry shit.
Puro Sur Central BXO comes back and says, "Is quote unquote tune-up in the contract language?" Shit, bro. I haven't seen the contract, but I don't think that would be it. Especially for a fight of that magnitude, it'd be pretty bad. And I'm pretty sure Canelo fans would be very upset if they were, seeing Canelo fight on September 18th with a guy like in comparison to Yeardom. Nobody would really want that. JB Cinema says that contract clause is harsh. But could it be Canelo might just be looking for insurance? Historically, out of Caleb and Canelo, who has fell out of a fight due to injury or illness? This is true. Caleb's been he's had injuries, no? He's been out at times for a little bit. So I get your point, JB. Let's keep knocking these super chats out. We got Steve Munoz. Excuse me, we have Noah G. Dallas with the comeback. Says that boy Ness really defending Plant because he's cool with him. At the end of the day, we all know Canelo going to chew Plant and spit him back out. Nah, he's cool with him. I'm cool with him too. We cool with Canelo, bro. But at the end of the day, I think Ness's defense was that, that $40 million guarantee that Canelo's asking for a late replacement is ridiculous. It hasn't ever happened, and it shouldn't be something that is going to stop this fight from making, since it's one of those things that you rarely have seen in boxing. Steve Munoz on the comeback says, when Ness is losing an argument, he get loud and childish. Can't wait to see Canelo fight another champ at 175 and Plant versus Finger Butts 2 on pay-per-view. Iggy. All right. R. Jonesy says, what's this new tactic y'all talking about? I came late. Yeah, the tactic of putting in a contract that you're still going to get paid, I guess, the same amount of money that you would have gotten paid for your original opponent with a late replacement, that $40 million. That's what the tactic is, R. Jonesy. Shin C says, Ness, keeping it 100. Hadouken! Luminous P says, when me and Ness agree, it's usually correct. Shout out to you, Luminous. Funny. Ken Stone says, all roads 154 through 175 lead to Canelo. Meet his demands. Yeah. All right. Ozzy, Foot Decoded, says, Ness, stop censoring Mario and stop being loud. We can't hear. Stop capping, saying y'all don't need Canelo, homie. Laughing emoji, crying emoji, dead emoji. Cheers.
All right.
James Benitez. Shout out to James, bro. James Benitez says, over 600 watching. Smash the like button. I want you to super smash. Smash Brothers, Hulk smash, whatever you want to call it. Smash that thumbs up button. We appreciate y'all and all the support that y'all show us, man. Boxing coming through with a super chat says, Ness working for PBC. What?
Say what?
No, he not. Yo, Puro Sur Central BXO says, this is all predicated if Caleb gets injured. Okay. Well, we're not hoping on that. We're not hoping that Caleb gets injured, but I get what you're saying. Ken Stone says, throw Morel Ryder on the undercard. If Plant can't make the fight, slide one of them in. What's so bad about that deal? Canelo wants his date. All right, so Ken Stone for a late replacement. I guess he's in agreement with the amount of money that the Canelo would still get paid with the likes of a Morel Ryder. I don't know if anybody else would be excited about that, but I'll continue on the super chats, man. My man Hell Rel says, Ness really did a Tyson Fury and covered the camera. Be careful, Mario. He's coming back with tampered gloves. Laughing at It's over.
Yo, that was
it's
the
over,
best.
champ.
Listen, write that shit down. That's super chat of the year. I don't give a fuck what no one says. Listen to me.
Egg weights are coming, Mario.
Nah, listen to me. That right there is either fucking super chat of the year or we ain't giving it out, because that was fucking epic. Super epic. Wow.
Yo, Dume.
Yo, Super. What's going on, champ?
What up, man? I'm going to send in a counterpunch to Ness, but this is my only way of getting on to you, since I know Ness is hiding and digging research up for his argument, man. I got to call it and say, man, I think everybody agrees. $40 million for a replacement is absolutely ridiculous. Let's not sugarcoat that. That's intense. But I can also see where Canelo's coming from, in the sense that I'm coming to Fox, I'm coming to your network, and I don't care what anybody says. There's not a bigger star you could bring to your network, especially on that date, because a Mexican audience, that's Mexican Independence Day weekend. There's a lot going on. 9 times out of 10, or maybe 7 times out of 10, you ask the guys, who are you going for? You'll ask people, who are you going for? And they say, I don't know. I just know Canelo's fighting. That's just one of those things. It was the same way with Floyd and back in the day and Oscar when they took these dates. And to jump on with Mario, to give a little clarity to Mario's argument earlier about what Mayweather and Canelo used to do, or Oscar used to do, I'm sorry. They didn't necessarily do the same thing, but they set precedents. You know what I mean? You had Oscar dictating what time you'd walk out, what gloves you were wearing, how big the ring was. You had Mayweather, the same thing, picking your gloves, walking when he's ready. These guys started new things. Now again, I just don't think $40 million for a tune-up is reasonable, because we're already 7 weeks away, correct? And who could you really get on the PBC side to throw in? And I think he's also thinking, look, Plant is a PBC guy, so even if I get injured, Plant can go on. They have other things for him, for sure things. Canelo's like, this is a one-off deal, and your network's going to benefit more from me being here this one time if it's only that. So definitely, I hope the fight goes off, man, because I don't think we're going to get Bivol or Better Beaver or anybody else in 6 weeks. I think if we don't get Caleb Plant, I'm pretty sure we're getting Triple G in a few weeks because it's September 18th. That's the fight you can throw together the quickest and make the most out of. But we'll see what happens, man. But, yeah, I can see both sides of it, but I'd rather just see this Plant fight get done and over with, man.
All right, Super Mex with the insights on both sides of the argument. Look, man, this is still a negotiation, and in my opinion, right? This is still something that can be made. I think that maybe putting a Dimitri Bivol out there as an opponent for Canelo, maybe another indirect negotiation tactic to PBC, to kind of letting them letting them dip off. But let me just continue with the super chats. George DFW says Canelo sells out Cowboy Stadium and has sponsors. Also gets promoter money. Stop lying, Ness. He's more than a boxer. Fire. All right. Jesse Quesada says, if the Plant fight doesn't go through and Canelo fights a last-minute replacement, this is a one-off with PBC. Will Plant be allowed go to the zone? Is this a way for Al to try and handcuff a multi-fight deal? Wow, Mary, what do you think about that one?
I mean, I don't really get what's his point. I think I missed that.
All right.
He's saying, read that one more time.
He says if the Plant fight doesn't go through and Canelo fights a last-minute replacement, this is a one-off with PBC. Will Plant be allowed to go to the zone?
Oh, got it. Okay, now I understand. Well, I mean, I guess theoretically, if they were to allow him that ability to keep the date, I'm assuming they would just renegotiate or, try another one-off. I mean, I don't know. I can't see. Yeah, that's a good question, to be honest with you. I have no fucking clue how to answer that. I mean, I would just assume that they would, try to renegotiate. I don't think it would be a thing about whether Plant or it would be allowed or not. I think it would just be like who can put up the best offer again.
All right. Well, there you go, Jesse Quesada. Next one, CRB1 says, I told you long as Canelo was with the zone. Oh, man, these you're funny. You're funny for this one. Got me on that one. He says, I told you as long as Canelo was with Dazn or Dazn and or Hearn, this fight will never happen. But you didn't want to listen, just like Fury, AJ. Fake fight. All right. Next one's from CRB1. Says, Aussie, it's all about apps, huh? Showtime has 8 million subscribers. ESPN Plus has 8 million subscribers. Fox ESPN has 80 million viewers. Deadzone has 600,000 subs. Laughing my ass off. Apps. Laughing my ass off. All right. And I think that's the last of the super chats. We're going to go ahead and I guess get the closing arguments. And who's this that just jumped on?
I was good. Yeah, I think Nesta sent me the link like an hour ago on Instagram. I was eating waffles and shit. I think yeah, like I was eating waffles and shit. I was like, oh shit, I think Nesta just sent me the link or something. And I think y'all talking about the Caleb Plant shit, right?
Yeah, we talking about the Caleb Plant shit, brother. What do you think about that, man? I mean, you got PBC, giving Canelo Alvarez his all-time pay, high payout, and he puts into that a negotiation that he still has to get 40 million if injury happens to Caleb Plant and there's a last minute replacement. How does that sit in your head?
Well, the first thing is two sides to every story. That's Caleb's side. We got to hit Canelo's side, and then the truth, because it's really is three sides to every story. It's Caleb's side, Canelo's side, and then there's the truth. To me, the the fight don't have to be dead. Like, I don't know why everybody acting like it don't gotta be dead. If it ain't on Fox, I'd cross the street, bro. Because what would have happened is if you don't fight Canelo, they're gonna try to find you a fight of equal to or greater than value. There's no fight on that side that's greater than the value of the Canelo fight. There's no fight that's equal to it. The only thing that comes close is David. And I told Nestor that David will fuck him up, man. He'll fuck you up. You ain't gonna make as much money getting fucked up by David than what you could make getting fucked up by Canelo. So what you need to do, and what is in your best interest to do, is think about your future. Because it seems like your people are more worried about what's good for Fox. Fox ain't gonna be worried about you once you get your ass beat. They ain't. If you get your ass beat, Fox is gonna cast you aside. That's it. This whole situation about Canelo and Fox. Listen, if Fox can't get the deal done for whatever reason, cross the street.
Julius, could you put your phone sideways so we can get a clear view of you? And I think it's zooming in and out. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Much better, brother. Much better. But
yeah, like it don't gotta be. It don't like. I don't think the fight gotta be dead just because it's not working out with Fox. That's a little crazy. Like Fox is just one platform. Go to the Zone if anything.
You're right, and I'll say another thing too. There were a lot of sources that had said that Triple G was a big part of the backup plan. Whether he was, B or C or whatever, he was part of the backup plan. And because it seems like Triple G and Ryota are much closer to finalizing that deal than I think most of us are even aware, I think that probably still puts a little pressure on Canelo. All we heard was from Plant's side. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he's lying. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that we don't know how Canelo responds to any of this. We don't know. We don't know what he does. Based off of this action. And I think that part of this story was put there to perhaps entice him to come back to the table or whatever the goal might have been. But the goal certainly is to finalize this fight and get it done, which I think still has a shot.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is, look how fast Caleb got out there to say something, that he broke his silence so fast. I kind of look at that as like, yo, you in a hurry to clean it up, because the truth is, people seen last year that he came to you. This is the third time that he came to you, and he the cash cow. He the motherfucking one. The only reason the investors are willing to put up something like $50 million is because of him. It ain't because of you. If we take him out of the equation, you don't make $10 million. So the cash cow of boxing approached you late last year. He approached you earlier this year. And here he is again approaching you. He's willing to come to your side. We see that he's willing to work with you. And your guys can't seem to get something right. What it is specifically, we don't know yet, because we don't know what the falling out is actually about. But Canelo already been in there with the Cottos and the Trouts and the Golovkins and the Mayweathers and the Smiths and the Saunderses of the world. Like, you're not going to convince me that he got something to be afraid of with you, because you won 12 rounds with Caleb Truax. So you can't sell me that dream. What it looked like to me is your people's network affiliates. They either want this fight to happen on Fox or this fight don't happen. And that's bad for Caleb, because if you fight somebody else, like you fight David gonna fuck you up. And you ain't gonna make 10 million or close to 10 million getting fucked up by David. That's the reality of it. My understanding of the situation is, I heard a lot of rumors that the Fox deal is gonna be up this year. So that puts the PBC under pressure to deliver big fights to Fox, big fights that yield big commercial value. David Benavidez is a good fight. I like it as a hardcore boxing fan, but I know that the average motherfucker don't know David as much as like I do. I've been following David for his career for a long time. So that fight is not going to make Caleb the same money that he getting his ass beat by Canelo. So you need to do what's right for you and get your ass beat by Canelo. If it has to be on the Zone, so be it. Because if they feed you to David, what you gonna make, bro? 5, 6, if that. Because who knows? You might make less than that. People not buying pay-per-views like that anymore. You look at the Musso reports. You look at the numbers for Davis's fight, the Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola, the Charlo doubleheader, which I bought, the numbers for Spence versus Porter and the numbers for Spence versus Garcia. None of them numbers is even cracking 500,000. So the money that used to be there is not there because the piracy caught up to it. That it's mad people stealing shit. You need to get your money while you could get it because you could end up like Demetrius Andre. Remember, Canelo beat Danny Jacobs for the IBF. You know, he beat him for the IBF. He's one belt away from undisputed. Out of the clear blue sky, he decided that being undisputed was not that important. So he dipped. You could end up like that guy with a belt that don't nobody give a fuck about, except maybe David, and he'll fuck you up, beat you up for less money than you get beaten, but getting beaten up by Canelo. So you need to do what's right for you. If you got to cross the street for the fight, yo, he the A side anyway, man. Why we doing all this for a Caleb Plant fight? He the A side anyway. We ain't got to keep going. We ain't got to keep going. Go ahead, bro.
No, Julius, what was give your handles real quick?
Mine
even get you.
Oh, you talking about my Skype handle? Or
Yeah. No. Give him your IG and your social medias and everything.
Bring IQ Boxing Memes. I don't really be on Instagram. On Twitter, it's Ring IQ Boxing News. On YouTube, it's Ring IQ Boxing Talk. And yeah, man, like he need to just bite the bullet and do the fight, man. Like motherfuckers got to stop playing.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Go follow Julius too. My man's very active. You know, he'll talk to everybody about boxing. Good dude. That's been in the community for some time. But Doomy, was the super chats? Did we start more?
Okay. Let me just see. Let me just make sure that I got to all of them. Yeah, Ring IQ, man. I've been watching your vids for a little bit, man. You've been in the community for a long time, brother. You've been putting in work, man. I really appreciate those videos and the way you narrate them and everything, man. It's pretty dope. So make sure y'all check out Ring IQ.
When Ness told me he hit you up, I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Like I've been, messing with my man for a long time. Checking out your shit and. Yeah, man, it's good content. You got good content.
I appreciate that. I just try to make it entertaining because it's like I'll be noticing a lot of cats, aside from the boxing voice, which is one of the trailblazers. Like everybody that know boxing on YouTube know the boxing voice. But I notice a lot of cats, a lot of other cats, I should say, they just ain't no flair. Like, yo, we could all sit there talking, but it got to be entertaining. So I be trying to make the guy sound like the narration sound like a New England plumber. You know what I mean? Like, make him sound like Joe Pesci or some shit. Like, everybody will sit there and listen to Joe Pesci talking boxing. I don't know if he do, but...
Yo, let me see. I think... Doomy, was it from CRB1? You didn't get that one, right?
Nah, that's I think the next one was R. Jonesy. If I'm not mistaken.
Jonesy. Okay, yeah, I think you're right.
It's saying Canelo deserved 40 million no matter what is sheep talk.
Yo, shit, ese Canelo, man. Mira, el Canelo, he's carrying boxing en este país ahora. Eso es la verdad. Nobody moves the needle como Canelo ahora. So, para mí, him going to Fox is a favor for them because they haven't had a big fight. If you think about the Pacquiao fight, they was lucky to get that fight because if Conor wouldn't have got his ass beat, Manny was going to fight him. And he was supposed to fight Mikey Garcia on Dazn. Gracias a Dios, que it worked out for them, and they got to make the Spence fight. Pero aside from that fight, they didn't roll out a schedule like Showtime did. They didn't roll out a schedule of good fights. It's Pacquiao Spence, Wilder Fury 3 in October was supposed to be this summer. That's 2 fights. That's 2 fights.
No, you're right. Next one coming in from CRB1. I got it. It says fans don't understand is Fox, ESPN, Showtime. None of them need any boxer or fighter. Fox worth 50 billion, bruh. Dead Zone worth 5 billion. 90% of Fox revenue from basketball and football TV. They also got baseball too.
Let me respond to that. For starters, Fox as a network doesn't need boxing. What I think CRB is not understanding is PBC on Fox needs big fights. You think that the higher ups at Fox are going to keep approving spending on boxing and they're not getting nothing in return. It's not a secret that Wilder vs. Fury 2 was a box office flop. Even though it did great at the gate because of piracy, they lost money on people stealing pay-per-views. We're not questioning whether or not Fox is going to go bankrupt off of boxing. Fox don't rely on boxing to generate revenue. But boxing's future on Fox relies on big fights. And they're not getting big fights. All you got is Spence Pacquiao, maybe Wilder versus Fury 3 makes money, but you got to split that with ESPN. They need big fights. When Bill Wenger and Al Heyman entered into that agreement, they wanted to deliver 5 big pay-per-views per year. All we got is 2. Ruiz versus Areola was not a big pay-per-view. Aside from that, what other pay-per-views have they got? So it's not Fox going under. Fox is not going to go under based on boxing. But as far as Fox's role in boxing, yeah, that could end. That could end. Because Fox was never really in the business of boxing to begin with. They went into business with Al, 2-3 years ago? If that shit could wrap up real quick, because what I'm hearing is that the deal is supposed to be up this year, and maybe they don't renew. I don't know. We'll see. But these pay-per-views have to perform, because they ain't just spending money to be spending money. They got money, but that don't mean they spending it for no reason. They want something in return.
All right. Next one coming in from Cannabis Cove says, "Where's the UK fangirl?" Laughing out loud emoji. Shout out to oh man, what was her name? Doomy?
Who you talking about? Cannabis Cole? Or where's the UK fangirl? Oh, you're talking about Lady Chan.
Lady Chan, yeah.
Lady Chan was cooking.
Shout out to her. Next one coming in from Puro Sur Centro. Wait, Puro Sur Centro.
Puro
you got it.
Sur Central.
Puro
PXO.
Sur Centro. Okay.
Señor Julius, what up, brother?
Nada, lo mismo, tú
Shout out
sabes,
to you,
Canelo.
brother.
Ese tipo el jefe, man, y si Canelo quiere algo, ellos se lo tienen que dárselo. Así fue para Floyd, así fue para Oscar, así fue para Mike Tyson, para Sugar Ray Leonard. La gente, lo que me molesta a mí es que ya, ok, el cash cow mexicano, y ahora todo el mundo le quiere dar el problema. He's the cash cow, bro. You know how it goes. He's the A-side. Give him what he wants, y si no le gusta, no le gusta. He don't fucking need you, bro. That dude don't need nothing. He could fucking go fight Avni Yildirim and make more than Caleb will make fighting David. He don't fucking need you, bro. Like, I think Caleb was lucky that Canelo actually wanted to give him the time of day, de verdad, porque he could treat him like Demetrius Andrade. You horrible fighter. Get the fuck out of here. Horrible. He could do that. ¿Y qué va a hacer Caleb? Who the fuck is listening? Like, really though, like, who gonna listen to Caleb? That man fought Floyd, fought Cotto, fought Trout, fought Smith, and he beat up the Smith brothers. The only reason he ain't beat up the other one is because he retired. Like, bro, it's Cash Money Canelo out here, B. We can't do nothing. This is Canelo's world. We can't do nothing about that.
All right, next one's coming in from I think it's yep, it's Meaty TV on YouTube. MTY TV on YouTube says, Ness, you wrong. Canelo wants insurance. No guarantee Plant won't buy time. Ness, at the end of the day, a Canelo fan will buy. You on the PBC payroll.
Ay, Dios mío, los implications.
Oh.
Ay, Dios.
And then you got El Rel comes through on the super chat, says pay-per-view is not dead. If the best fight the best, pay-per-view will sell. Nobody's paying pay-per-view for sure victory. The best need to fight the best. That's for sure, man. Ozzy Decoded says the zone is where us millennials, Gen Z, even Generation X stream and watch our fights on an app. What are we boomers to pay for a fight on pay-per-view? Okay.
Pero eso no es la verdad. Mira Netflix, mira Hulu, mira Disney Plus, mira HBO Max. Ahí es que está el mundo. The world is streaming, bro. Pay-per-view es una vaina antigua de gente. Bueno, yo soy viejo, sí, pero eso es vaina de gente vieja. Eso ya.
Still makes good money.
Dike. When you got to split 40% with the cable and satellite company, you could generate good money on pay-per-view. The problem is, how much of it do you take home? How much of it do you, because if you generate, vamos a decir, 28 million, well, you ain't taking 28 million home. You ain't taking 10 million home. You got to split that with the cable and satellite company and pay for all the operational costs before we see if you turned over a profit. Motherfucking Wilder versus Fury 2 did way better numbers than the first fight. But ask Bruce Trempler. He said it was a box office flop due to piracy. They lost money putting the fight together, even though it outperformed the first fight. Motherfuckers gotta understand, like, ain't no free lunch, bro. Everything costs something, man. Everything costs something.
All right, got the next one from JT who says, yo, the callers, Doomy Mario. And Intrigue the Incredible says counterpunch. Marioski, did you want to go to the callers?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do this. Give me 1 second. Who had the counterpunch?
It was Intrigue.
Oh man, what's Atlanta's area code?
I'm gonna have to go with. Let me get that for you. Bear with us, TBV.
You know what? We'll go to the first one. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Who
the Skip handed over the
All right, the reins. Yo, okay.
Atlanta.
So we're gonna go real quick to Austin to see if this works. Austin, you're gonna get your call first, just so I can see if it worked. And we'll see if we can hear you and if you come through YouTube. All right. Austin. Oh man, this ain't gonna work. Austin, you there? Austin, in Texas.
Don't make me hit you with the crickets, Austin.
He might not. And he ain't there. Can't be.
All right, that's our first guy.
I guess I can't do it. Yeah, I guess I can't. Oh, wait.
Let's give it another shot.
Hold on.
Give it another shot. To everyone tuning in, this is the Boxing Voice, Mario Mungia, Alex Doomsday Linus, and our guest, Ring IQ. If you don't know, now you know. Make sure you check out that channel. If you want to look for informative boxing videos and coverage on the sport, check out Ring IQ. Been in the game for a little bit, and let me tell you, it's a hell of a good content on that. I've been watching Ring IQ for a minute, so I appreciate what he does for the sport.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Nah, no doubt, papi. You know, it's only. Listen, when I see others putting the sport in high regard, man, you know, it's nothing but love and props that I could give, man. And then the way you do it, man, like I said, everybody go ahead and tune into that channel, Ring IQ, and take a look at the content that the brother produces, man. It's great content.
So, who do y'all think Canelo gonna fight in September, man? Porque ellos quieren salvar ese día.
Yeah, well, look, like Mario was saying, that no matter what, you know, he wants to fight on that date, whether or not, you know, this is like the final decision making on this negotiation. If this is gonna make it or break it, then I guess he still wants to fight on that date. But who are the fans gonna be happy with on that date? I mean, I don't want to see no late minute replacement, knowing that you see, if I'm a fan and I know that you didn't allow the plant fight to happen because you didn't want to budge on that 40 million, and then you go ahead and you fight a pie on that day, I'm not going to be happy as a Canelo fan. And I'm a big Canelo fan. I mean, I throw on the bandana and everything, bro.
Y si él pelea con el Golovkin otra vez?
Oh, nah, that's a different story. See, if you pivot that way, I don't know how that happens and how fast that fight can be made. I don't know what Triple G is doing as of now. I don't know if he's in camp. Does he have a fight coming up? I mean, the guy's been kind of in the shadow realm, so I don't know too much of what's going on that. But if a fight,
ellos dijeron de que Clady Chan, all the way from the UK. Ellos dijeron que el Golovkin se está preparando para el Canelo, para que Canelo le coge el espíritu. So, to me, I mean, he sold his soul to Canelo to me, dog. Like, he did. So I'm thinking, like, Golovkin to jump there in a minute for that payday because he knows he could get good money fighting. Like, Golovkin is a feasible option. Bivol is another one, but I don't think Bivol fights him in September. I don't think Canelo would want to fight someone like Bivol on that kind of notice. That's too fast, and that dude, he could stick and move. He could box. He's the naturally bigger guy. He has a solid amateur background. To me, Golovkin is the natural choice. I think Canelo will stop him this time. And fans will want to see that. El Golovkin knocked out. Yeah, they want to see that, bro. They want to see that. They'll pay to see that.
Let me try this one more time. Or actually, Lady Chan, how you doing?
So I'm all right.
Good.
You can see me though. Can you guys?
We can see you, and your mic sounds good.
I sorted it out in the settings. I looked in the settings. I was like, "Estoy aquí ahora." Sí.
Hey, well, let's stay correct, yo, because right now you sound real good. Yeah, so you know what? I mean, in the meantime, Mario, still trying to get a hang of what the calls and everything to see how he.
Where's
The skip jumped ship right now. He's taking a swim with the sharks. He'll be back whenever he wants.
Let me
he left me and Mario, the deckhand, on board.
let me real quick try to go to Tommy. Tommy 727. You are live right now. You there, Tommy?
Tommy, don't get hit with the crickets.
Nope, it's not him. It's definitely I can't bring him on. Listen, we definitely apologize, and we will make sure to make those not super chat. Sorry,
counter punches.
Counter punches. Thank you. Yeah. God damn, I was like, what the hell? Yeah, we'll definitely make those counter punches up one way or the other for sure. I just can't. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if. I'm sure it's something on Ness's end, but yeah, when I try to bring y'all live, I'm just not hearing any of y'all. I actually try to put a couple people live, while y'all were talking, just to see if we can hear them.
I don't know, because I'm not on the screen. We can see me. They can't see me.
No.
Yeah, I think it's on voice. From that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Or I could put you in the four box. Let me see.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Intrigue. We will definitely get you get to the super chats. Okay, we'll finish the super chats, I guess, then real quick. What did you leave off on? It was JT. Get to the callers.
Yeah, that was it.
Counter punch, right?
That's right.
Where's Shan? They're saying, where's Shan? I don't know. I can't. I'm not on the screen. I don't know.
Listen, let me go ahead and get through these super chats.
Go ahead.
It was Gunner Forever who says boxing IQ with the facts. Hashtag saludos. Well, you already know. Champ, Ring IQ, you're Latino. Where are you from? What's your nationality?
República Dominicana y chileno.
Wow. Chileno. I got a couple friends from Chile, man. That's a beautiful spot, man. It's one of those little diamonds in the rough that nobody really know about, man.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Where are you from, Alex?
I'm from Honduras, Central America.
That's where my cousin's wife's from. They just had twins.
Oh, yeah, congrats. Let me get to the next one. Puro Sur Central BXO says, in my opinion, if and when Canelo beats Plant, he still needs to see David. Vena never lost belt in ring, and it's a good fight. Yeah, it's true. He lost his belt at the scales, and he's been gunning for that fight. He really wants to fight Canelo, but Canelo don't want to fight no Mexicano.
No, él no, espera un momento. Él dijo que he would fight con el Benavides. Y yo voy a hacer Walter Mercado ahora. El Benavides le da una salsa. Le va a dar una salsa. Yeah, he said he would fight Benavides. He did say that because I saw the quote. And I think Benavides is going to beat Plant. And this is going to sound crazy, but I think he's going to jump ship because he's tried to jump ship before. About 2-3 years ago, he tried to leave. 4 years ago, I think he tried to leave the PBC for Top Rank, but they managed to get him back over there. If you've been watching him, you know what I mean. He seems like he's upset, uneasy. He wants a big fight, and he hasn't had one yet. He wants the Plant fight, but it hasn't materialized. I think that if things fall out with Canelo, they'll feed Caleb to David, and David will jump ship for the Canelo fight. Walter Mercado.
Walter, for those who don't know who Walter Mercado is, look him up. Casual Bass Guy says Canelo made Ness vanish. All right. Ozzy Future Decoded says boxing IQ dropping fire with the facts, homies. 100% emoji, fire emoji, and fist emoji. All right, IQ, giving you your flowers, champ. And I think that's the last of the super chats. Mario, were we able to get a hang on the phones?
No.
We apologize. We apologize to everybody out there right now, especially all the callers. This was unexpected, and we weren't able to get a quick handle on this. This was totally unexpected, and we are clamoring here to see if maybe Nestor Gibbs comes back on, but I think he won't be able to. And
Yeah.
again, this was unexpected, so we apologize if we weren't able to get to any of the
We were
callers.
supposed to have a guest too. I'm gonna go ahead and we can just wrap up so I can make sure that I get her
reach out to her
on a pre-recorded, and do that. So listen, no, go ahead, Doomy.
Well, yeah, listen, this was the title of the topic, Canelo versus Plant. What really happened? Who's to blame? Late minute addendum, one-way rematch. Lady Chan, you weren't able to give your piece on it. Maybe you want to give your piece on it before we go ahead and close out. This fight is in jeopardy right now of not happening, and Canelo cruising off into the 175-pound division for a fight. So what do you feel, and what's your stand on this?
I'm just hearing that so many discrepancies with what we're hearing is what Plant has agreed to. We're not hearing what he well, for me so far, sorry, because I've been out all day, I haven't heard the things that he's not agreeing to. Like, he's come out with this, oh, they wanted this, we agreed, they wanted that, we agreed. So what is the thing that they haven't agreed on?
Mrs. Chan, just give it another check on the mic. You went off into.
Check.
Oh,
can you not hear me?
No,
we hear you.
Joined by.
We're having the static. Oh, our guest is on.
Odessa.
Yes, is that Melissa Odessa?
That is Melissa Odessa, the IBO bantamweight champ, 5-0 with 2 KOs, fresh off of her June 19th win over Salgado, which she did win her first world title at the bantamweight division. What's going on, Melissa?
Hi, can you see me?
Try to turn your phone to the side so that way we can get a better view of you. Raise it up a little bit so that you're in vision for your headshot.
I can't see me.
So we can see how the shirt matches the hair.
Perfect. I like
it's
that.
All, there you go.
No, flip the camera.
There it is. Perfect.
Okay, now I see me. Hey.
Listen, for those that don't know, I gave the breakdown, and you just did beat Salgado. Well, not just beat her. You won the unanimous decision in pretty much what was a routing. It was a perfect performance on almost every judge's scorecard. But how are you doing? How are you feeling after the world title win? How's everything going?
Well, I felt really great because honestly, that fight was a sparring session for me. So I jumped right back into training on Monday because I was supposed to have a MMA fight that unfortunately fell through. But man, I've been learning a lot about my own body, and I never thought that coming back after career-ending injuries and being 34, almost 35 in October, I'm like in the best shape ever, and everything's starting to click. And I'm like, damn, my opponents are fucked.
That's exciting, Melissa.
It really is, because I honestly was starting to wonder, like, will I hit a plateau or wall for how long I've been out? How far will I be able to get better? Because I know mentally, I'm the baddest mofo around. But physically, my body can only do so much now. But I'm actually getting in better shape than when I was in my mid-20s. And I'm a more intelligent fighter. So I think it's because I'm making like smarter choices instead of harder ones.
I have a question for the most dangerous woman at 118 pounds. Very recently, I saw Shannon Courtenay say that she will not give Ebony Bridges the rematch. What do you think about that?
I think it's whack. I don't think it's a champion mindset, because you want a really close fight that people will argue, could have gone either way. And a lot of people feel that Bridges deserves it because she did the headbutt. I feel that she does deserve the rematch after she has a few wins. But man, I hate talking about Courtney because I'm like, she's not a champion to me. She shouldn't have the belt. Like, she's good for a starting point, because we all need a starting point. But man, let us knock her off the block and keep it moving, and let like top dogs go at it. But
She not gonna fight you, dog. She not gonna fight you, dog. Like,
well, if she ain't gonna fight you, we did have Ebony Bridges on, and we talked about y'all's fight, or y'all fighting possibly. She did mention that y'all are friendly with each other. What would you think about a fight with her? With that?
I believe I had tweeted like a while ago. People keep sleeping on her, and I think that her and I could possibly, with her having a little more experience, we can have one of the most explosive fights you've seen in women's boxing. Because the thing about her and I is you're gonna get good banner, because I actually believe she can fight and she's proven it. So I don't really have any shit to talk when it comes to her. But what I will say is this one isn't gonna be yours, because I'm gonna stand toe to toe with you and I'm gonna show you who the alpha is. So it's gonna be a mix of pride, it's gonna be a mix of talent, and it's gonna be about who is the better fighter and who could push their will if we match up.
All right, I got a question. Very recently, I saw that the Brooklyn Zone Amandia Serrano said that her upcoming fight with Mercado is a bigger fight than the Katie Taylor fight. Is that bullshit, or is that not bullshit?
So, mira, fake Dio Serrano, right? Serrano. This is my thing about her. She turned pro around a time where technology was still kind of new. You couldn't look things up the way you can now. So you can trick the average fan into, oh, I'm this and I'm that, but they don't look at the details behind it. Because with women's boxing, it's not hard to be within the top 10. It's not hard to get a world title fight. So here she is presenting herself one way, but she's used to being able to just spit bullshit and people buy it because they can't research it. It's not the same way anymore. Now you're being put on blast. Now things that you say and you go back on, we're able to go back and show like, no, chica, that's not what you said before. Last time I checked, this is who you fought, because now it's available. Her saying that her Mercado is a bigger fight than Taylor is her saying, crap, I can't get this fight because I'm not that smart in my tactic. I'm fighting 2 weight classes below, thinking that if I become undisputed, chasing girls I know for sure I can beat, Taylor will give me a fight. That's not logic. It's stupid. So I think she's just trying to fool the fans and make the fight bigger than it is, because it's not getting the reaction she expected.
Bueno, yo vi que ella criticó. Oh, I'm sorry, Mario.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yo vi que ella criticó a el Jake Paul when all of this celebrity boxing shit started. I saw that she was actually against it. Y después que cuando le ofreció una oportunidad, I know Jake Paul is serious. He's taking his training very seriously. Yeah. So for me, I want to root for her because she's from my city. I want to root for her. Y ella del Caribe. I want to root for her. But it's like Melissa said, that these days there's certain things that you cannot ignore. You like the truth is there. They're like, yo, dog, how is fighting Mercado bigger than Taylor? Si la gente que van a ver esa pelea son Jake Paul fans. Those is boxing fans? No. So how is this a bigger fight than that one?
Yeah, like for real. That's why I call her, fake Dio Serrano. Like, stand by say, like, I don't care that you from Bushwick, because where I'm from, if we fuck with you, we fuck with you. But if we don't, like, don't come on my block. You can't sit on the stoop. You can't hang out.
El diablo.
Like, yo, just say you from Brooklyn. Don't claim Bushwick.
Yo, you trying to ban her Bushwick curse, V?
Melissa, Brooklyn, and Texas rep. So, and to lead into my next question, I just want people to understand a little bit more about Melissa. She is a 9-time national champion with Golden Glove wins in the state of New York and Texas. But it's not just her, amateur record, which was 89-22, to speak of. You also have fights in the professional and amateur ranks as MMA, and not to mention a very accomplished Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. I say all that to say this. We've seen women in MMA and boxing take a shift towards bare knuckle fighting. I bring it up because it is an option. It's money. It's real money. It's, tangible. What are your thoughts about competing in something like that? is there room to add that to the mix of boxing and MMA that you already do?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, like I get an offer to do bare knuckle boxing. I'm gonna be like the longest reigning champion. They could give me a championship fight out the gate. Like I don't need a training camp. I go back to the block. Like start some.
That's right.
Say what? Like it excites me because I'm like, yo, I'm not going in there and boxing. I'm not keeping it tight. I'm gonna go in there and I'm wilding on you like we on the street. And
I mean, that's good as dead.
Yeah, like I'm going straight savage. Ain't no tactic, ain't no taking my time and filling you out. Nah, when you get on that line and he says fight, you better not blink because I'm coming. Like I would love that opportunity. So I know that I still need to build myself as far as like my fan base and my following, because with bare knuckle it's kind of different. It's not that it's just a popularity contest, but they're smart in how they put their women on cards where it's actually going to be competitive, and they're going to, fill seats and also fill those streamings.
Well, did you see Paige Van Zandt versus Rachel Ostovich, and what did you think about it?
I thought it was an evenly matched fight. I thought it was great. Yo, I think Rachel has some like beach brawls because I didn't expect her to step to her. And I think it's that mentality of I'm used to doing MMA where I have to worry about being taken down, submitted. But now I'm just fighting where I can just step to you. So she's used to being aggressive, but not having to worry about all these other things. I feel like she went out there and she was like, screw it, I'm going to show out. And she looked really good.
Yeah. Last question I got for you. All right. So Shannon ain't gonna fight nobody. Like that's a given. Because like you fighting Jamie Mitchell. Nothing against Jamie Mitchell. God bless her, but it's not hard to see why you chose her. What about Luna? What about the other champions at the weight? What about a rematch with Ceci Roman? Is any of that being talked about, worked on, emails, faxes? Is any of that materializing?
Well, the last thing I was told, because as you know, I shared with everyone, I was open about my situation with my promoter. So I'm in the process of getting out that contract, but he's prolonging it for as long as he can because he's hoping I'll change my mind because he has a fight for me supposedly in October. And they're hoping that they can make a matchup against Stina Dorsland. But I hold what I'm told with a grain of salt at this point because I have been given so many different game plans that I don't know what direction I'm going in anymore. So I know that I'm not fighting unless it's for a world title fight. So I just recently signed with First Round Management, and I know that once we get the legal side of things squared away, they're going to be able to really focus on my boxing, and I'll be able to get those world title fights because I'm out the loop right now, if I'm just being honest. But I'm staying ready. I'm maintaining so that if I do get an opportunity and I do get a call, someone contacts FRM, they deal with the promoter, get me signed off to fight. We'll make it happen. But you won't see me representing Signature Punch Boxing or being on any of their cards. So anything you see me posted about me fighting, I'm not fighting on that card.
So let me ask you though, with this current situation kind of in flux, I guess a little bit, if you want to call it that, would you be willing to, if you found yourself in a situation, to come on short notice or to jump into a situation? Would you do that? I mean, are you trying to just get in where you fit in and try to get that the world titles under your belt?
Most definitely, because one thing about me is I'm not naive. At least I don't think I am. I see things for what they are. So I'm not in a position where I can call out the top girls until they want to give me the opportunity, because I've been in the game less than a year, but I've also placed myself in a position where I have the right to say I deserve a world title. I've now fought a current world champion and I won. I have fought for a regional title and I've won. I've also for the IBO, I won. I'm now one of the highest ranked women at bantamweight, so I deserve a shot. When it comes to fighting Luna, it's so frustrating because she had a tune-up fight. I don't believe as a world champion you should be able to have tune-up fights. But I put myself in a position that when I see they have these dates and I'm not on it, I'm staying ready because I don't mind being that last minute call because I know things will turn around once I get one of those 4 belts.
I got an idea. Lo que tú tienes que hacer, hago un video where you getting beat up and watch the phone ring. ¿Me entiendes?
Yeah.
Make like a fake video, get your neighbor, put boxing gloves on her. Yo, dame un trompón en la cara. And then put it out.
G.
Exactly.
That's
Y
what they
ahí
would
tú
say.
te van a llamar. Yeah, we want to use Melissa Odessa for a title fight in November.
Well, you know
get
what?
that call real quick.
Yeah, but you know what? The problem is also that I have also this promoter who won't release my fight. How are people supposed to get excited who missed the pay-per-view if you can't even share highlights and you can't even post rounds to show how exciting I am? How are people going to connect with me and know what kind of fighter I am? I was on the card, co-feature, and I'm not even allowed a copy of my fight. I'm just baffled by this because I'm trying to find that missing connection to help grow my audience. But when you don't have the media, when you don't have the content, I'm not just going to start posting random stuff, for the clout. It has to make sense. So hopefully with more fights, it's about getting a fight where people are going to be able to see me fight and highlights are going to be able to be posted and they're going to be able to show like, yo, look at what she did. If people were able to see the last 3 rounds of my fight, right, they would be highly impressed because everybody was calling me a 4-round fighter. I gas out. I get hit with stuff. Yo, I did 10 rounds and I was proud of myself like, oh, it's on. I would have loved for everyone to see that.
Nah,
and people
they
need
must
to know
not.
that was a late minute replacement too. People need to understand that was not who you were, originally training for either. But
the
that's like
Ceci Roman fight too. Like they need to watch that. Like that fight is like that was a good. Like I ain't kissing ass and that, but it was like that was a dope ass fight.
Well,
like
no, listen, Boxing IQ, forget for a second, Melissa, what's right or what's fair. Let's just talk about what's smart. Like, how many people bought the Tank fight versus how many people saw his knockout on IG? Like, how many people saw what he was able to do on social media? Like, you're in a position as a promoter. Like, why don't you want that promote? Like, why don't you want people to see the kind of actions they can expect on your cards? But yeah, that's baffling to me. It's not even about who it is. It's about what they're doing.
he needs to go to Ring IQ management where we can get a social media response. Like, all we need is a little bit of footage, and I'll use some music and some sound effects, and I bet you it'll get seen, you know what I'm saying? But yo no sé lo que está pensando ese tipo, because none of that is conducive towards, like, if he's trying to make it right for you, how is this trying to make it right? You're not even letting the fight out. You can't show nobody to fight. You cannot entice potential people to, like, yo, this is my fighter, Melissa Odessa. She be beating the hell out of people. You're not doing none of that. And you the promoter.
No, you're right.
And, you know, it's honestly a control thing, because one of the things I like to do, like, for instance, on my Twitter, is I like to bring awareness to topics in women's boxing that I feel no one brings up. So whether you feel I'm wrong, right, and different, it's starting conversations. And one of the things I've also brought up is I really believe that if you've been a manager, you should not be allowed to be a promoter, and because manager to protect the fighter. Now you're a promoter, but you still have the mindset of a manager wanting to dictate and have control. So when you're honestly supposed to be the paper pusher and making sure everything's good and putting the card on and matching and, you know, making sure things are good, instead you want to dictate camp, you want to dictate sparring, you want to dictate sponsorships, you want to have full control of so many different things, but you don't know how to separate promoter from manager. And that's why we had an issue, because some of the things I would tell him is that's outside of what you're supposed to be doing. And You know, unfortunately, I had went along with it because he said, look, don't sign with a manager because what we have going is good. And sometimes too many hands in the pot is not a good thing. Me, you know, I'm hearing what I want to hear. Como un estúpida, because, you know, I'm new to the pro game. I may have experience in the amateurs, but I'm still learning. And I bought it. Now I got a manager, and it's like, oh, no more taking advantage of me because you see money and you want to limit me to only being on your cards, which leads to another thing. Why are promoters allowed exclusive contracts? It's beyond me that some of these things are happening and we pay all these fees, but you have the sanctioning body, governing body. No one is creating some kind of union or
Yeah.
meeting to start getting clarification on these issues so that boxing could be a little more fluid and we can grow that fan base we once had.
No, listen. Oh man, that that statement is huge because it's not just, I mean, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? Their athletes get taken advantage of on every level within the boxing game, the MMA game, even the wrestling game. At the highest level, they take advantage of the laws and the way they're shaped with promoters and fighters. So that's huge to say that. And I think that essentially what you're saying is, unfortunately, in the fight game, you have to kind of learn from your mistakes as you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's taking time though from you as a fighter, time that in your prime and in your, you know what I mean. It's just taking time from you.
Yeah, and another thing is that I was gone for a while, so I came back into the loop. Kind of sola, doing it solo and trusting in people that I have personal relationships with, but that I know they always say like the closer you are to the person, the more likely it is you shouldn't do business with them. And sometimes, it is true because like Andre Rozier and I, that's family to the day I die. We just don't connect well on a business level. Then we have this promoter where I'm looking at women's boxing and I'm seeing all these things of women sharing how they're going through this and they're going through that. I get a promoter who I tell him I'm interested in signing with someone else, and he actually flies out the next day and takes the time out, to show me how much he wants to sign me, and I'm hearing everything I want to hear. I'm thinking, it's been a 5-year layoff. I'm also in my 30s. Who else is going to give me this opportunity? Porque Melissa Odessa doesn't exist to everybody. Unless you're in the boxing community, you really don't know of me. So here's somebody on the outside who sees my value, or at least made it seem that way. So when the pressure was put on me, mira, sign esto ahora, you got to sign it now, or the deal is off the table, I'm thinking, you know what, screw it. I could look over the rest of the contract later.
Mm-hmm.
Screw it, I don't have to get that lawyer. Screw it, I'm just going to sign because he's going to set me up for these world titles because that's what I want. But then once you locked in, that's where true colors come out. And it's all about, you're only going to fight on my cards, you're going to fight who I say, and all the things I said before. So that's why I'm sharing, because the Olympics is on. All these girls are going to be turning pro.
Yeah.
And they're going to be looking for management. They're going to be looking for promoters. In women's boxing, it's unfortunate, but we do need it more than the men's side because we're still building. If I can start a conversation or at least help one person where they're now aware and they know not to follow my path, walk away, stand up, know your worth. Okay, I got to sign right now? No. And that's the reason I'm being open and sharing. Because, I felt a little embarrassed at first, and then I was like, screw it. This is part of my journey. And it's only helped me be better. And who knows, maybe when I retire now, I become a manager or promoter. But right now, that hardware.
That's so big of you.
Odessa Promotions, yo. All right. And you got to get punched in the face when you sign a contract. To sign Odessa Promotions, they got to punch you in the mouth once you sign the dotted line.
Make sure you could take it.
Real rap. Well, yo, look, it was good talking to y'all. I got to go eat. I'm well hungry right now.
Hey, man. Thank you for coming on Boxing IQ. Give out your social real quick.
Ring IQ Boxing Talk here on YouTube. Ring IQ, I think it's Ring IQ on Twitter, and I know it's Ring IQ on Instagram. Look me up. I talk boxing and other stuff.
All right, man. You got a shout out too before you left from MTY. Melissa, I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I do want to ask you though. I did see your son who looks exactly like you, like 100% like you. You're talking about the Olympics. You're talking about having this knowledge. Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, he just wanted to be able to say hi for the longest. So he
you got it.
Here, and he would just keep creeping over, and I'm like, move.
What?
And he'll keep creeping over.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael, you a big fan of mom boxing? You watch her fights?
Yes.
Yeah, you ever been to one of her fights live yet?
No.
Not yet. You excited for that day though?
Yes.
What about you? You compete? Are you has he started boxing at all? Are you gonna let him?
Yeah, Bobby, go ahead, sit down. I let them kind of choose their sports, but they have to stay active. So he's into wrestling. He did a little bit of jits, but his biggest thing has been soccer. But with COVID, it took a pause, and then all the camps filled up quick as soon as.
Man.
So I'm just waiting to put him back in something.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, and it's funny too. Is like even like soccer has produced a lot of high quality fighters. It's just something about the cardio and stuff like that. But yeah, that's awesome. The last question I wanted to ask you. We talked about bare knuckle. We talked about, how you've, done Brazilian jiu-jitsu and, done a lot of stuff, wrestling as well. What about professional wrestling? That's something that I'm a fan of that has become much bigger over the past 5 years or so, maybe even last decade. We're starting to see athletes from cheerleading to bodybuilding to MMA all step into the ring. Ronda Rousey did it very successfully. Would you ever consider doing something like that? Is that something that ever sparked your interest? Now or down the future?
Yes. I wouldn't say I'm a wrestling fan. I've been watching WWE recently, and it's become a affair where now we watch every Monday night.
That's awesome.
I can't handle Friday nights also. I'm not like that into it.
Yeah, it's too much, right? Yeah.
But it has been exciting because for me, it's like a novela, but an active novela where you go at it and hit each other and slap. So I'm having fun following the storylines. So I'm always about opportunities that will open up through me fighting because I can't fight forever. So if I ever got an opportunity to do something like that, of course I would be open to it. And what excites me about it is they have something called the 24/7 belt.
Yes.
Like for me, like I would have so much fun getting that belt because I'm so competitive. So like the only thing I would want to do is just give me an appearance where when I'm like an undisputed champion and I'm on there, like I want that 24/7 belt.
That's what's up. Yeah, listen, and I wouldn't just by the way, Bad Bunny won that belt. Took it on SNL with him. Yeah, he did WrestleMania this past year, and they let him win it in it was like a silly type of thing. But he actually performed really well at WrestleMania. But yeah, listen, I wouldn't just ask anybody that. The thing is that you have the mic skills. You have the physique to do it. That's a big part of it, whether people understand that or not. It's a huge part for men and women. The physique you got, but you have the mic skills. I don't think it would be very difficult to teach you or transform you into someone who speaks their mind openly and then has something prepared to speak your mind openly. You know what I mean? And so you have those mic skills. I think you would be good at it. But yeah, listen, thank you for joining us. Sorry about the time delay and all that, but I'm glad Brandon our producer worked hard to get you on. Please give out your social media for us.
Yeah, so you can follow me, Melissa Odessa, on both Instagram and Twitter.
Awesome. And we'll definitely have you on as soon as you got something scheduled. We'd love to have you on and, talk about it.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Take it easy, Melissa. You have a good day.
You too.
All right, there you have it, Melissa Odessa. If you have not seen her, definitely go check her fights out. She does have stuff on YouTube, despite the fact that her last fight is unfortunately not on there. Man, I'm so glad that she shared her story with us. You know, we have fighters that listen. You know, Marlon Sims and even the guys in Border Wars who are hoping to turn pro at some point. You know, guys like Rel, guys like Marvin. And you know, these stories help us to understand the way that the sport is. And you know, I know this community knows more than most. You know, boxing fans are the most knowledgeable fans in sports. I've always said that. I always think that because we care so much about it, right? Like your average football fan doesn't know as much about the inner workings of their favorite franchise as we do about the inner workings of every single promoter and fighter. And so to have these kinds of stories that don't usually make it out, you know, definitely help. But yeah, we're going to go through the super chats. Nah, Champy, I can't send co-host links. I tried actually earlier when I was on with Brandon and could not figure it out. But let's go through some of these super chats real quick before I try one last thing to try to get everybody on. It's Rel says pay-per-view is not dead. If the best fight we got that one. If the best fight the best, pay-per-view will sell. Nobody's paying pay-per-view for a for sure victory. The best need to fight the best. Ozzy Feudicoded, I think is how you say it. I'm just going to call him Ozzy. DAZN is where us millennials, Gen Z, even Generation X stream and watch our fights on an app. What are we boomers to pay for a fight on pay-per-view? Oh, that's funny. Yeah. JT with the super chat. JT in the 504 says, "Yo, get to the callers, Doomy and Mario." Oh, we read all these. My bad. I'm messing up. Gunner Forever, Boxing IQ with the facts. Hashtag saludos, salute to Boxing IQ who joined us. Puro Sur Central BXO. In my honest opinion, if and when Canelo beats Plant, he still needs to see David. Benavidez never lost the belt in ring, and it's a good fight. Casual Bass Guy says, Canelo made Ness vanish. Yeah, that's funny. That was a good one. I made Ness vanish. What? No, Ozzy with the next one says, Boxing IQ dropping fire with the facts, homies. 100 emoji, fire emoji, fist emoji. Definitely good having Boxing IQ on. He has a high boxing IQ. That was stupid. I shouldn't have said that shit. Jay Miller with the super chat says, can we get a poll on who wants Nello versus Triple G again? Yeah, that poll would definitely be very one-sided. I don't think very many people want to see it again, including myself. Jesse Quesada says, Julius, do you think PBC will try to handcuff Canelo to a multi-fight with PBC with a last-minute replacement? That's what I meant in my last super chat. That's what I thought you meant, but then when we reread it, I heard it differently. That's a good question, and that's what I was actually going to talk about when you had asked it originally, was that's how I could see it working. If he wants to fight that date and still make X amount of money, then it needs to be tied to a 2 or 3 fight deal. But that's such a weird stipulation because it's like a huge thing. You can't just have it on a clause if somebody gets. I mean, that's just, I don't know. That's a lot to, ask for. MTY TV on YouTube says, shout out to Julius, best channel on YouTube. Canelo is the money. Canelo is money. Pay the man or he will walk. Then Plant will get another plant emoji. Damn, good one, champ. Chevo Guap says, Canelo is known for hydration clauses, short notice, etc. They mad because Plant won't be his bitch. We got to end the diva era somehow. Props to Plant. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the era that we're in. Like, it's not like it's a Canelo thing or whatever. I think it's just at the end of the day, it is what it is. But what about D Generation X? That's hilarious. Good job. Listen, that's our show. I again want to apologize if you had a super chat intrigue. I promise you I will not forget. In fact, I'll write it down right now. And anybody else who we missed with super chats, we will definitely get to you. I'm sorry, not super chats, counter punches. And yeah, it was just one of those shows. What can you say? I'm going to try one last time on Blog Talk. See if this goes right. If it does, we're in business. If it doesn't, 323. I don't know who this is, but just talk. 323. If you're holding on Blog Talk, say anything. Anything at all. Oh, it worked. Who's this? 323.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Tony. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, but I was just calling in about the Canelo. I mean, I guess.
Yo,
Well, the guy
I can
Julius
barely
had it,
hear
right?
you. Talking to this into the speaker. Who'd you say this was?
Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Who is this?
Oh, sorry, yeah. My name is Tony.
Tony. Okay.
Yeah, I was just calling because I've been listening to your show.
Here. What's going on, Tony?
No, I was calling because about your show. When that guy Julius came in, he had a lot of facts saying about the Canelo fight. But I think on this fight, I think the wrong decision is being by I think maybe negotiating this fight is Eddie Reynoso instead of Eddie Hearns. You know, I think that was a big deal, a big part of this. You know, but people are gonna blame everybody. But I think we only got one side of the story, and we gotta wait till Canelo comes out with his side of the story to see who to blame for this fight. But it's sad that we're not getting it, you know, because everybody wants to see it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that it's over with. I definitely think that we will end up getting this fight. I mean, I'm not certain, but I think that there is still a good chance we still end up getting it. Mostly because it just makes sense for Canelo right now in terms of timeline. But Tony, where are you from?
From LA, Los Angeles, California.
Okay. Got it. I got you down, Tony.
Sorry for the breakup. It just, you know, I'm at work.
No. I got
all right,
you.
man. You guys have a good one.
Sure I have it for next. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, all right. No, I just because I'm at work, so I'll get you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot, though. Thanks for taking my call.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, at least we got one because unfortunately the rest of the timing on Blog Talk is done. So the last person that was in got it. Again, we will get to the counterpunches on the next one. At Mari Mungi on Twitter, at Mari Mungi on Instagram. Make sure you go and follow at The Boxing Voice on Twitter and IG. Also, Alex Doomsday Linez. If you just put his name in on Twitter and IG, my bad, big dog. I don't know what it is right now. But you can follow him as well. Thank you to Boxing IQ and thank you to Melissa Odessa. Peace.